Respected friends and elders, it's a well-known fact that after the competition, even the professional athletes experience a blip. It becomes very difficult for them. The marathon, people who have been training all year for it, the post-training blues after the competition, the Olympics, National and Commonwealth Games, when the big match is over, there's an anticlimax. And those professional athletes who are in a good routine, looking after themselves, they slip into a celebratory mood and it becomes very difficult for them to get back on track. And it has an element of depression as well. They feel suppressed. The energy goes down. And this is why the advice is that after the competition, after the big day, even before it comes, we ought to have some future plans. What are we going to do afterwards? How are we going to pick ourselves up? Maybe some smaller goals. Maybe some smaller goals. So you're competing in the Olympics. You're competing in the Commonwealth Games. You're running the marathon. You're doing a 5K, 10K triathlon, whatever it may be. 100 meters. You have an exam at university. After the big day, you have nationals and hires. After the big day, there needs to be a plan afterwards as well. A timetable. What are my targets? They need not be as grand, as aspirational as that big event. But they need to be there. Because if they're not there, then we fall into a decline, into a rut. And it's very hard to pick ourselves up. Is it not the case after Ramadan as well? That we need to pick ourselves up. The big plan before Ramadan was our eating patterns and routines, our time off work, our daily target for reciting this much Quran, our goal of ensuring that we performed every salah. And the like, everybody had their own goals and ambitions. Yes, and inshallah we were able to meet some of those goals. Yes, and inshallah we hope from Allah that He has forgiven us for the month of Ramadan. The du'as that we made, He's accepted them. That we received our share of blessings. But now moving forward, the blues, post-Ramadan blues, this blip, this sense of suppression and depression and lethargy, where we don't have that energy anymore. We have to pick ourselves up, my friends. We have to keep walking. And though our ambitions and goals outside of Ramadan may not be as lofty as the ones in Ramadan, some of them need to stay with us. If in Ramadan we were doing all that extra nafil ibadah, then we shouldn't fall from grace and even leave the fard ibadah outside of Ramadan. What do you think? Is this an unreasonable goal? To perform our 5 times daily prayer on time? Man sallal bardain dakhala al-jannah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whoever performs the 2 cool prayers will enter into Jannah. The cool prayers are Fajr, my friends, and Asr. Dhuhr is a time of heat. And so the ulama say this doesn't mean you only need to perform 2 prayers. In fact, if you look at the masajid, the lowest number of attendees are in Fajr and Asr. And so if you look at the hadith and you think about the situation, the reality is that if you perform Fajr and Asr too, you are likely to perform the rest as well. And these are the times when the shift changes of the angels. They swap over and you have double angels. The numbers are double. Fajr and Asr, the nighttime and the daytime shift changes over. And these are times for dhikr and dua after Fajr, after Asr. So our daily prayers, Rasulullah SAW mentions that a person who performs the sunnahs, the 12 rakats, Allah makes a house for him in Jannah. 12 in a day. 2 of Fajr, 6 of Dhuhr, 4 and 2. And that's how many? 10 altogether so far. No, it's 8 altogether, yes? And then the 2 of Maghrib, that's 10, and the 2 of after Isha. And this is separate from the Witr prayer. So these virtues are there all year. All year these virtues are there. A person who says La ilaha illallah, reads the kalima 100 times in a day, has the best a'mal on those on earth. It's in hadith. Except for a person who equals him or does more than him. So our daily recitation of the Quran, وَاتْلُ مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ كِتَابِ رَبِّكَ, even Allah's messenger is obliged by Allah to do tilawat of the Quran. We must do tilawat. It's one of the huquq and rights of the Quran. So some dua, some dhikr, some tilawah, punctuality in salah, some sadaqah, and silatul rahim. It's not just a matter of sending a text message on the night of the 27th, forgive me my sins and salam to you. This needs to continue during the year as well. And so, to conclude then, we need to have goals. I was saying that after the big day, there's an anticlimax and there's a lethargy when people train and prepare and revise for exams or competitions. After Ramadan too, we may experience an element where you don't have that buzz. But why isn't there a buzz? My friends, there is a buzz. Is there not a buzz now? Because it's the day of Jumu'ah, because we're in a gathering of our brethren, our community, brothers and sisters have assembled for the Salah of Jumu'ah. There is. But we can also, on an individual basis, push ahead in our private spheres as well. Small baby steps, fixed routines. Today you have any number of apps talking about diet, talking about exercise. My friends, what about our spiritual exercises? You can do so much in 5 to 15 minutes. If you can do 10 sit-ups, squats and press-ups in 15 minutes, you can also do in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes you can recite your tasbih of istighfar, your 100 times la ilaha illallah, your subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, your salat and salam, your durood sharif. 5 minutes. You can recite your yasin in 4 minutes, in 5 minutes, in 6 minutes. On the day of Jumu'ah, in 8 to 12 minutes, you can recite Suratul Kahf. Is this too much to ask for? We can all do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant me tawfiq and you as well.